Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse podcast. This is your first ever live show. John said, I guess he had a little Bill O'Reilly like spirit enthusiasm, and he said, F it, we're going to do it live. So here we are.
I get that reference.
We're doing a lot. That's an old school one. That happened forever ago. I remember when I was in journalism school at the University of Missouri, we watched that clip and we're like, oh man, who's going to be the one who does this? And we'd like look around, like which of you is going to be the one who completely Bill O'Reilly's live on the air here. So anyway, if you're watching, listening, whatever, you've got John at John PGH here with us. And of course, we got your friend and mine and ours at Doc Eisenhauer, Doc, the man, the myth, the legend, and me, Tim Kanak, at Fantasy Ace Ball. And on this podcast, X-Vision, whatever, we are going to be talking about pitchers, redraft pitchers. So these podcasts, the redraft ones, very popular, not just for the dynasty, for the prospect people, but for everyone, because these guys, they matter in all leagues. This is John's thing, right, John?
It seems to me that pitchers can translate more quickly to the major leagues. Doesn't always happen, but it does seem like when you get that mid-season impact prospect, it's more often a pitcher because they have the ball, right? They're the ones with the ball. They just throw the stuff they have, and if it works, it works. It's not like a hitter has to come in and they're seeing these kinds of pitches, all like better stuff, better movement, better locations than they've ever seen before, and they have to adjust. But the pitcher, more or less, just does the same thing. If they're good enough, then they're good enough. So I don't know. I can't prove that out, but there's at least 3 to 5 starting pitchers every year around June, July that really make a fantasy impact, even in the smallest league. So these are important names to know. Although, as you'll see, a lot of these guys we've heard of before that they've debuted already, but these are names to know for sure for benefit in any fantasy league this year.
Oh, dude, we can definitely play that out because I've done correlation data. Pitchers correlate a lot better from AAA to the majors than hitters do. And you have to remember too that usually the hitter is the first one who has to make an adjustment. The pitchers aren't the first one. So the hitter usually makes the adjustment, and then it goes like pitcher, hitter, like hitter first,
right.
then pitcher, hitter, back and forth. But Doc, you haven't even talked. What's up with that? Doc, talk. Say something.
Feeling good. I actually disagree. Yeah, I mean, I agree with pitchers coming in, the young pitchers, they typically have a little bit of a better track record with hitting the ground running, but they are dealing with some crazy things. Like, I'm not going to just go and, crucify a guy because he's getting lit up, getting smacked around a bit in the big leagues. It is still like a major difference. These guys are not swinging the way they used to. They have just completely different, more polished approaches because these hitters have seen the best pitchers, So it's interesting. It's going to be tough either way, but I'm doing pretty good, man. I figured this is our first live stream. I'd go ahead and play it safe. So instead of my usuals, I actually invented brand new, a list of racial slurs. It's just new ones. Yeah. I got one for Czechoslovakia here.
Oh, I'm Czech, man. Hit me.
Checkerhead.
How dare you?
Yeah. And I got one here for, what the heck? Rhodesia. These are all these countries.
Rhodesia doesn't even exist anymore, bro.
You can't offend anybody.
Man. You know what? There's not even anything written on here, man. I think I've lost my mind. I don't think any of this was
blood
real.
Diamond.
Yeah,
you just blood diamond it. Rhodesia's that's like the only reference that I have.
Czechoslovakia is not real anymore either. Just so you know, you uncultured swine.
Yarmer Yager.
You know that?
That's of course I knew that. That's my heritage.
The Czech Republic, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
well, and Slovakia.
I'm like a third Czech, a third Irish, and then a third English, basically.
Those countries change all the time, man. Everybody freaks out about every time, America tries to grab Venezuela and everybody throws their hands up in the air like, bro, Europe's been changing all the time. My in-laws have a globe. And, it's from when they were younger adults, but they were still very much alive. And Ukraine's not even on the damn thing. So it's like, I'm not saying that Ukraine shouldn't exist, but.
Oh, John is pro-Soviet.
You know that Taiwan actually thinks they're the real China?
We've talked about this. This is a very common.
Remember, we are the number one podcast in fantasy baseball podcast in Taiwan.
So according to us,
they are the real
China, bro. They are the real China.
I was going to say, you better
Absolutely.
not give a Taiwanese slur here, Doc. You're going to ruin our good standing in Taiwan with the great people of Taiwan. So, John, did you want to go with any questions? I think someone asked a question about somebody, or should we just go straight to the 20?
Well, you really when you ask for questions on Twitter, you really put yourself out there, because if nobody asks a question, you look like an idiot. You're like, yeah, anybody have any questions for me? I'm going live. Who's got a question? And then like nobody cares, just total crickets. But a Cleveland fan asked about Parker Messick, who we'll get to, and Cal Steven, who didn't make the top 20. But Tim, give a quick update on him, because I can't.
You don't know him. All right. So Cal Steven, really good pitcher, crazy IVB on the fastball. Cleveland acquired him from Toronto this last year. He has only reached Double-A. I highly, highly doubt we see him for a significant period of time in 2026. So for redraft purposes, probably not in. Stuff is fun for sure. Maybe we get a cup of coffee like at the end of the year. That's like the best case scenario for redraft leagues for Cal Steven. But for 2027, sure, I'm a fan. Like maybe he's on this list next year. We'll see how 2026 goes.
So yeah, ADP 730, 105 stuff, 123 control. So that's high. 106 ERA. But
show him. Throw it up. Throw those fScores up,
well,
baby.
I've got this. Let's plug this thing here. MLB DW subscribers know all about this. Just a little news sheet came out today. It's all of our prospect data put into one sheet. I'll just show this real quick, but age, highest level, Fantrax ownership, and the fScores there. So that's, you can see Cal Steven there, but MLB Data Warehouse paid subscribers get that. There's a tutorial and stuff about it, but that's it. I think we should get into the top 20.
Yeah, I'm going to mention, though, he is a Tim and Doc favorite, because we did mention the Cal many times over the last year.
I'm sure he's on the Guardians prospect preview, right? So you can go check that out for a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. And his name is Cal. So, like, you got to love the Game of Thrones reference. Doc and I, last time we talked about it, we're like, his parents were definitely nerds, because based on his age, like, they were reading the Game of Thrones books way before Game of Thrones was ever a series. So, definitely some nerds.
I heard there's sex in that one, so I didn't watch it.
What?
You
didn't watch Game of Thrones? What is wrong with you, man?
No, not at all.
All right. All right, well, let's get to the top 20. Come on, John, put them up here. Put the first.
There we go.
All right, so talking about the top 20 here. Number 20 is Kohl Drake, and I texted John. I said, if you pick Kohl Drake, Doc is going to kill you. Like, that was not really a joke. I was almost like I know Doc, so
he could kill me too. Look at his t-shirt. He's got the things on the shoulders. Like he might kill me just by looking at me. Look at this.
This is a Christian. I realize like I'm totally just like overdoing it. Got the when in doubt, read the instructions.
Nice.
Got the cross here. Got soldier of the Lord, the Crusader with cross. It's all out.
Do you dress yourself, or does your wife dress you?
I think the Lord dresses me, big dog.
The breastplate of righteousness. Or
does Angry Baby dress you? Do you ever let your kids pick your outfit?
No, not yet.
Way.
Not there. The one's only 3 years old, so I'd probably end up. Actually,
I've done that. It's fun. I definitely look like a clown every time.
Yeah, we'll do that one of these days. That's a good idea. We'll do that.
Yeah. All right, Kohl Drake, let's go.
All right, this guy's he's like your prototypical starter frame, 6'5", 220. I think that one of the biggest reason that nobody really heard of him for a while was that he's just all like a complete underdog story. He was born. Where was he born? Born in Orem, Utah. It's just kind of, I wonder why he was everywhere, but he was in Orem, Utah. I don't know where that is. Then he went to school, Morristown, Tennessee, at Walter State Community College. So now he's got Utah, Tennessee.
Hold on. I'm not even going to bog you down with the numbers on the screen. You're in narrative street until you give personal stories, so we're going full screen on you. Keep going, please.
What kind of baby powder?
And then he goes to Arkansas Tech University in Russellville, Arkansas, which I've been there. It's pretty much nothing's going on. I actually blew a tire out driving through there because I like the middle of nowhere. And then that was the closest. This is kind of like a big town, small city sort of deal. Anyway, had to wait 3 or 4 hours at the Walmart for them to, give me a new tire, which I hated it, so not gonna. Anyway, this is all to say that Kohl Drake is an underdog story. No, he was going to nowhere. So the fact that he's 25 doesn't freak me out. It's like it was going to take a little while longer. In fact, the only the big red flag for anyone is when we're seeing his AAA performance this last year with a 9.18 ERA with Arizona. It doesn't look good over 16 innings, and then. With Texas just before that, it was 5.19. Like it's bad, it's a bad AAA performance. But right before that, he was crushing AA to the tune of 2.44 ERA, a 0.9 WHIP, and the strikeouts and the walks weren't that dissimilar really though. Like his command didn't just completely implode. His Ks were a little bit worse with Texas, but basically the same with Arizona as they were with I like to go. You guys go your percentages, but I like the 11.4 K9 at AA, and it was 10.3 at AAA with Arizona. So I loved to see this guy's rise. He's mostly been really good over his minor league career. So I think the PCL had an effect. There's the strike or the what do you call the zone thing, the automated strike zone. Yeah, he's got that going on. He's got to figure that out, right? So I still think the future is bright for Kohl Drake. He's got a lot of what you need, a lot of what you can't teach, and his stuff plays. He's going to get an opportunity this year probably. It's just like he has to stop imploding. Because the only thing standing in his way, it's funny, it's not actually the Arizona rotation. Because we're looking at guys right now, Merrill Kelly's your ace. Ryan Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Pfaadt, he's like starting to look like a swingman. Like, is he going to be able to be? Is he going to be can he even be as good as Michaelis was? Not looking like it. Like Pfaadt might be worse. Like he's probably going to be worse than Michaelis's peak at this point. He might have to go to Asia for a bit. Not making a joke. I was a believer, but I don't know. Soroka. These are not the guys who are going to be the problem. The problem is there's a bunch of guys who are pretty solid at the AAA and AA level. We got Daniel Egan at AA who could just fly up. In fact, you got Ashton Izzy, David Hageman. And then at AAA, you got Yilber Diaz, Christian Mina, Mitch Bratt. All these guys that John knows all about. So sarcasm. He doesn't know any of those guys. But these are all kind of like decent prospects who – it's going to be kind of just keep an eye on how he's doing early on. If Kohl Drake is out there crushing it, learning his lessons over the offseason and coming back strong, he could easily be the first guy up. And with pitchers, you will get an opportunity if you're that close to the big league.
For sure.
Injuries will happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's on this list. I think out of all those guys, he is the first guy up. Because I actually like Bratt better as a pitcher. Because he's probably the second guy up. I think he's up before Egan. But
he's a lefty, by the way, a huge lefty. I forgot that one part.
Yes, fastball, crazy curve, like really nice. It's like it gets classified as a curve and a sweeper, but it's really like I don't know. It's a slider. It's like I don't know, just different classifications. But he is a good breaker. We'll just leave it at that. Number 19 is George Klassen. I saw Klassen back in A-ball, like when he broke out back when he was with the Phillies here in Florida State League. The stuff was absolutely insane. The dude was throwing like 98, 99 with like 20 inches of induced vertical break. And whenever he got traded from the Phillies to the Angels, his prospect status just completely tanked. He had a rough little transition when he first went over to the Angels, but he had actually finished last year with a really nice year, really strong finish to the year. He got his walk rate down to 9.7 on the entire year. And that's after in 2024 with his Angels stint, a 17.3% walk rate. So he really improved last year and it kind of went under the radar. And he was still throwing like 98. Swing strike rates were still very, very high. I'm a huge fan of George Klassen. Like we got a 2.54 JA ERA over the last month with him with a 32.8% K rate. So he was looking really good over the last month. It's the Angels. They like to promote guys really fast. He was at AAA. If you move that slider to the last month there, John, he has, like I said, really good vert on the fastball, really nice stuff. And I put a 60 out of 60 on the fastball. It touches 101. He throws a two-seamer too. I threw a 60 out of 65 on the two-seamer because it has a decent amount of horizontal movement to it. It's a really nice pitch. He's got a sweeper that I threw a 65 out of 70 on. So there's 3 really plus pitches right off the bat there with him. The big trouble with him is going to be command. He also has a cutter, gyro slider, or whatever. and a changeup that I don't really like. So I give him a 30 on the changeup. Command, I gave him a 35 out of 45. So that's the big thing with Klassen. If he has command, he could be a beast. If he cannot find the command, then he's going to be just like one of these other, Joe Boyle, Robbie Ray, whatever types where it's like, comes and goes. It's like he might get a ton of strikeouts, but he's also going to walk a ton of dudes. So you got to watch out for that command there with George Klassen. But the stuff is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been a while since the Angels had a pitcher, right? So start to wonder.
Caden Dana worked out very well.
Yeah. Was he supposed to be?
There's still time. Isn't Dana like 21?
Yeah. Well, that was that. Way too fast. Yeah, they definitely brought him up way too fast. Klassen, I think they're doing the right thing with. And he was a college guy too. So he's gonna be 24 next year. So, and the Angels, does anyone really trust that Grayson Rodriguez at this point is going to pitch a full season? So Klassen might just be that other guy. Chase Silseth, they've already designated as a reliever. They said he's going to be a reliever only next year. He's not going to start. Detmers was way better as a reliever than a starter. Sounds like Detmers is going to start at the beginning of the season, but who knows? They're going to need Klassen next year. He's going to pitch a lot of innings, I think, and the stuff is fire. So number 18, we got Diddy, little Diddy. This is your guy, John. Didier Fuentes with the Braves. Have at my good friend.
You just said that Diddy's your guy.
Not a great time to have your name sound like Diddy. Yeah. Although people have forgotten about him, we've moved on. Nobody's too mad at him anymore.
No, what are you talking about? Isn't he in prison with Maduro?
But then he got away or something. I heard he escaped. That's probably not true. But,
yeah. All right. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just picked the guys. I'm supposed to talk about people during this. I'm better at the production here, but Fuentes got to the majors, so I figured I could, have some major league data that I'm familiar with, but wasn't good in the majors. He is super, super young, right? We look at him here, 20 years old. So I think, was he 19 when he actually got called up?
Yeah, he was. Right. I think he was the youngest pitcher ever to start a game, not as a reliever, but I think to start a game when he made his debut, which is crazy, in baseball history.
So the Braves are nuts. It just seems like so. This fastball stuff, right? It's a good fastball. I was looking at his pitch movement comps. You said there's this new thing here on the app. You can put in a picture, throw up the pitch, and it'll give you
just type in Diddy. It pops up.
Yeah, right. That's right. It'll give you the shape. I don't really even know how to translate all this, but 96 is a good velo. That's a good number there, the vertical break. So compares to Wheelers but you see here just it's one thing to throw a fastball 97, 96, 97 in AA and blow everybody away. Then you get to the majors and it's they've seen that before, like we kind of already mentioned. So probably needs to develop some other pitches in the major leagues. He was 58% four-seamer. And it didn't go well. 492 expected WOBA, 4 dingers, 886 slug against. So, but it's a good foundation. Just needs to add on to it. And obviously, we'll see him in the majors if he's healthy. Sale, Schwellenbach, fill in the blank. The Braves, I don't think need him out of the gate, but we'll certainly see him. Who knows with Sale, with Schwellenbach with the broken elbow last year. And I think the bottom of that rotation is nothing all that special. So they're so aggressive to put him in the majors as a 19-year-old. They're not going to hesitate this year, but maybe something to watch in spring, right? Is he throwing more of this curveball or does he have a sinker or something like that? But good foundation to build on. Probably not quite refined enough yet, but we'll see him for sure.
Yeah, he needs a cutter. Fastball sweeper are awesome. I gave him a 60 out of 70 on the fastball, 50 out of 60 on the sweeper. 2-pitch dude. I comped him to a Freddie Peralta / Jose Soriano mash because he's like a ground ball guy too right now. So it'll be interesting to see because he's so young. He has so much time to develop. But the Braves already ruined AJ Smith-Shawver kind of. So it's is that his destiny? Is he just
why'd they do that? Why? So that's not a question for me. Just in the prospect thing,
because everyone died, man. They had Raylo. Raylo, Strider, their whole rotation, Sale, all those guys all got hurt in the same year, and they had nobody.
Some orgs must think that if we promote this guy too quick, because I've always thought, why not let them develop in the major leagues? Isn't that a good place to develop? But that's obviously, I don't claim to be to know what I'm talking about on this stuff. So it's like, is there a real risk of rushing, or will it just slow the progression, or what? I mean, I guess nobody knows, but I mean, yeah, that was quite aggressive for Fuentes, and it couldn't have made him feel very good, right? But maybe I don't know. We would need Doc to analyze the mental state here. I can't do that, but I don't know. We can move on from Fuentes. I don't think there's much.
No narrative street. You're not going to talk about his baby powder.
Yeah, we'll skip over that.
Yeah. All right. Number 17 is Blade Tidwell. He has really good stuff plus numbers. For a guy who I liked a couple of years ago. He's out of Tennessee. Liked him a lot a couple of years ago. And the Giants, the prospects that they've been calling up have kind of failed to date. Birdsong can't find command, which was always his issue, even going into last year when people liked him. And then Whisenhunt is kind of just like got shell shocked at PCL and is like not recovered. So he's got like PTSD or something. And then like Tidwell actually made it through. He came from the Mets and he was really good in AAA for the Giants in the PCL when they acquired him. Like he was really good after the Mets traded him in PCL, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
So Tidwell, really interesting guy. He's already debuted too. So it's not like, like he's on the 40 man. He's debuted. Yeah. If you look at his minor league stuff, when he was only on the Giants, like it's fire. So yeah, let's do that real quick. This is not a guy that we selected, but we said there's only 20 pitchers. So we'll talk about each of them a little bit here. So yeah, there's Tidwell's numbers with the Giants, 29.9K minus walk rate. Yeah, that'll play. So look at that sweeper, 24.7% swing strike rate on that thing.
It was like 3 outings, but
yeah, I know. But he's got good pitches. Fastball is maybe average. Like it tops at 99. I put a 40 out of 50 on it. Sweeper, I put a 60 out of 60. And the gyro slider, I threw 60 out of 60. So like those are his good pitches. His sinker, his changeup, and his cutter all kind of suck. But he's got 3 good pitches, and they kind of bridge together. So maybe he eliminates some of those pitches and develops something else in the offseason. I don't know. It's development time. So we'll see in spring training.
Yeah.
All righty. Number 16, Thomas White. We did not pick him, but Doc is like, we have to talk about Thomas White. That's because Doc and I both love Thomas White. I've seen Thomas White a number of times in person. The dude is fire. Every time I see him, he looks even better. Best lefty prospect pitcher in baseball. And with the Marlins clearing some room, because John, for full transparency, John texted me while I was driving to Miami this morning. And he's like, have your rankings changed since you have updated since you released the article, which was like a week ago. So it was before the KC trade. It was before all these trades that the Marlins just made. And like, if someone was going to change, it would be these Marlins pitchers. I would not change White just because I'm not sure what they do with him. Snelling, I'm like considering. I'm like, maybe I would bump Snelling up a couple spots to like 6, something like that, because it seems like he's probably going to debut.
What makes you think that?
But
over Thomas White,
he's older and he's been around longer, and he was at AAA like the whole year. So just based on pecking order, it makes a lot more sense that Snelling would be the first to debut out of the two of them. So my bet would be that Thomas White is more like a back end of the year type debut unless injuries happen, and Snelling could break camp is kind of my view on it. You got anything on White here, Doc?
No, yeah. I mean, it's a 6'5" lefty. He's like 240 pounds now, and he's whipping gas, and he's got a couple other nice pitches too. So this is a situation where, like, if you want the recipe for frontline fantasy ace, like upside is the best pitcher in baseball. I'm not saying he's going to be, but
White. You're talking about White, right?
Yeah, Thomas White. Like he's the prototypical guy. Of course, there are many outcomes that are possible. He might not make it at all. Most likely outcome, he's at least good. But yeah, he's like, there's not too many pitchers where you can say upside of best pitcher in baseball, because he's just like that kind of guy. His command's got some issues, but his stuff is so good.
That stuff is at 124 F stuff is crazy. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, right? Like as long as it's like within range. The command. So what I will say about the position battle though is that's what they will do probably. Like if they're in spring training and everything else is exactly equal, like if they're looking pretty much the exact same, then yeah, maybe they go Snelling just because he's slightly older. But I think they're going to talk to the guys. They're going to have them around there. Yeah, John loves his stuff. The data loves this kind of thing. But they're going to sense their mentality of where they're at. they are going to figure out where they're at, right? And then of course they're going to see who's getting lit up and who's striking guys out.
Actually, I bet they just let Jansen Junk go for 3 weeks and see what happens in AAA.
Yeah, they're cheap, man. They're gonna wait till Super 2, call up Snelling after Super 2, and Thomas White they'll call up like in September to make sure that he can try to win 2027 Rookie of the Year just because it's the Marlins.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason that he's at 16, because obviously like he's my number 15 overall prospect.
But I mean, Snelling
pitching redraft thing than my overall prospect ranking.
Snelling was like regressing a year or two ago, right? You know, so like he's gone through rough times before. I like Snelling a lot, but I'm just like, it's possible for this young pitcher. It could happen to White too, but I think it's like a little bit closer. It's like could go either way depending on who's coming out hotter.
He was my first round pick in the Dynasty 30-team prospect draft. I was picking 23, so the options were slim, but I went for him.
I think the options are slim. You know, we have 30 rounds, sir, right?
Right, I know. For round 1, I'm like, I don't even know these guys, and there's 25 more to go. For my take for sure, and I think I actually picked this up from Doc and Matt Morris when I came on with you guys this time a year ago, and Matt said it's not really like, because I was saying you guys were snake oil salesmen and you're just like morons who just make predictions about 5 years out, and then you can never get you're never able to be judged because the guys, what you said, you can't even prove it true or false until 5 years later. But Matt said, well, it's not really about how they actually turn out. It's just about selling these prospects at the right time as the stock goes up. So for me, it's like I wait till Snelling gets the call and then I trade him for like a decent major league hitter, and that's a
good strategy.
Yeah, bro. These are growth stocks, not value stocks.
Right.
All right, let's get to the next 5. Number 15 is my boy Quinn Mathews. So I'm going to talk about him. Quinn Mathews obviously had a terrible year as far as command, and if you bring up Quinn Mathews' numbers at different levels, his command was really, really good at every single level except for AAA. And as someone who watches Quinn Mathews quite a bit, probably more than the average sane person. And I've seen him in person a lot of times too. He has a ton of movement on his pitches. Like he's a breaking ball guy. Like his best pitches are his slider and his changeup. And as a mass movement guy, pitching with a smaller strike zone, as Doc said with the strike zone thingy, it's called the ABS. With the ABS, you've got to hit in that ABS. Those hitters at AAA know how to game it. There's a lot of like 28-year-old hitters at AAA who are just like quadruple A guys, and they understand the ABS, they understand the smaller strike zone, and they're just trying to game it. Like I heard Connor, or what's his name, Griffin Conine. I heard him on a podcast, and he was talking about how he'll just like wait for pitch, like because he knows the strike zone, like he knows how to game the ABS. And so, like, he's, like, trying to get to the majors. You know what I mean? Like, these are, like, 26-year-old hitters trying to get to the majors. And they'll just game ABS to bump their OBP and bump their OPS and make their stats look pretty. And that's why, like, John will be like, look at their swing rates. So they're terrible. But, like, they're just trying to pump their back of the baseball card stats up. And so, like, that's going to ding pitchers who get gamed by these 26, 27-year-old quadruple A guys who played with the ABS for 3 years and know how to game it properly, while, like, Quinn Mathews went up 4 levels in one season, and he's striking everybody out. No walks, like 8.6, 5.4, 7.2, and then all of a sudden 17.6. So I think that's an oddity. Like, yeah, his fastball definitely got worse last year. He lost velocity and he lost vert on the fastball. Like the spin ratio was down on the fastball last year, and that's something I saw. That's not even something that like statistically I noticed. I noticed that the first time I saw him in person.
You saw the spin rate, Tim?
I could tell it was worse. I watched his fastball, and I was like, that fastball is definitely worse than the last time I saw it. But I was like, it was spring training, so I was not like entirely concerned because I was like, maybe he's just ramping up or whatever. But like, I was definitely like, that is worse than when I saw it last year at Jupiter. So
you have a better eye than me. You can measure the spin.
I'm a mini scout. What can I say?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think I get it. You make a fine argument. It seems a little bit like Cardinals fan cope, though, because, I mean, plus 10%, plus 10 points on the walk rate.
Well, let me give you a stat here because that is legitimately, I can back it up.
Correlation
on walk rates actually gets later to the majors. The average pitcher when they move from AAA to the major leagues, their walk rate actually improves at the majors versus AAA. So correlation wise, his walk rate going from the AAA to the majors will actually get better. So that's just literally like
so from 18% to 18% to 13% or what?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I'm assuming that it normalizes closer to his career mean.
You're right.
Even in college,
I
he's
agree.
a control guy.
I do. I'm jabbing you, but I agree. This 18% is not real, but it is alarming.
Yeah. Well, also the Cardinals rotation sucks. So it's like who's blocking him? Dustin May, Andre Palante. It's like May's going to get traded. Palante sucks, and you've got like Dobbins and Fitz, like all these like Red Sox fifth starters now blocking him. I mean, come on, if he's got anything, like Heim is just gonna be like, okay, it's time. He's 25. Like, there's no reason to hold him down anymore. Yeah. So like he's ready. The age is there. He spent a whole year in AAA. Like. So innings will be there.
Okay.
And that's half the battle with redraft. So number 14, Trey Gibson. Nobody picked him. The Orioles keep adding pitchers. Trey Gibson is kind of on the precipice here. He pitched in AAA last year. There's a good chance he pitches like half a season in the majors. And straight up, he was better than Quinn Mathews last year in AAA. So that's why he gets the nod. Even though I like Mathews still better. In my overall prospect rankings, I actually still have Mathews a few spots over Trey Gibson because I think he's going to figure it out, and his stuff is better. Just like he just has better stuff. So I think he's going to get there. But for this year, Gibson has already figured out the command at AAA, so he probably will have a smoother transition if he does get the call. So there you go. It's like Quinn Mathews is the riskier, higher reward between these two. Trey Gibson is your Procter & Gamble, and Quinn Mathews is a chip stock.
Okay.
All right. Number 13, nobody picked him either. Doc's like in the bathroom. Number 13, I almost ate some chili before this. My wife, like I went deer hunting and I got a deer, and my wife made some deer chili, and she's like, "Here's your dinner." And I was like, "Not before a live podcast. I don't think so." So it was tuna. It was for me this evening. But number 13, Rhett Lauder. Rhett Lauder with the joking about bathrooms because Doc's been missing for 10 minutes. Rhett Lauder is number 13, lucky number 13. I probably just jinxed him, making him number 13 because he was hurt all last year. But he's got a good shot at like he's like the number 5, number 6 guy with the Reds. I don't know if he's going to debut. Like right now, they've got Chase Burns as the 5 on the roster resource, which is crazy because he's like obviously like their number 2 guy. But I think that there's a good shot he breaks camp and finds a way to break camp. So he'll pitch a lot of innings. He's already debuted. He's a command guy. Like, I don't think there's a lot of upside with Lauder, despite him being a top 5 pick or whatever from Wake. Like, I think he's more like a really solid number 3 starter long-term for fantasy. So like that's the way you should see him. He's not going to be a top 40 pitcher, I don't think. He'll probably be in like that 60-ish range forever, but he's got really good command. He'll probably be a quality starts monster as long as he can limit home runs in that ballpark. But he's a ground ball guy, command guy. So I think that he's going to be a nice pitcher to have, but he's not going to be like a superstar.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about him. Saw him in the majors 2 years ago. Didn't allow any runs. I mean, his ERA was spectacular, but all the indicators were really bad. But maybe it's something that he can kind of beat that with the sinker, with the ground balls and stuff. We've seen that. So standard fantasy leagues, if you're in like my usual is like a 12-team league where there's like 300 players on. I don't really think you got to worry about Lauder this year, but the deeper leagues, it's probably a bit underrated just because of some of that home run suppression stuff he can do.
Yeah, my comp frame was like Logan Webb-ish, so that's kind of like what to expect is like a Logan Webb type. That's like obviously like the upside. That's the dream is that he becomes Logan Webb basically.
Quinn Mathews is a stud.
Yeah,
we're still
Did your wife give you chili for dinner?
No, dude, I'll tell you what happened later. But yeah, that's just work stuff,
Not publicly. Or did your mom give you some chili, some chili for dinner?
That is what happened. Yes, because my wife is my mom. This is actually the deep dark secrets. Why I'm like covering up with all this Christian stuff, but really, my wife is my mom, and that's just not good.
How does that feel saying that out loud?
I don't have any feeling anymore, man, because my life is just complete insanity. People are probably like, why is Doc gone from like posting all the time to posting once every month on
When did you meet? At what point in this crazy life of yours did you meet your wife? How much of this has she gone through with you?
She's just a gem. She went through like a lot of poverty. So
no, when did you meet?
2019.
Were you a movie star already?
Yeah, that helps for sure. Like I was kind of crushing the movie stuff.
Okay,
nice. Yeah, that's how you win.
But then 2020 COVID stuff happens, and it's kind of blew up that whole industry and made things tough. So she stuck by me, and now I've rewarded her with a life of stress.
Yeah. A lot.
No, you got a nice house now. We got a nicer house than I've ever lived in, so it's fine. It's not like Tim level where you probably built your own house, right?
I did a lot. I don't know. I built my own pool.
Was it like that scene in Red Dead Redemption where they build the house?
No, there's a house here, and I just made it way better, basically.
It's a good part of the game is when you build a house. It's very wholesome.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I played that game. I don't remember. Number 12, Mick Abel. And like that transition. John put his glasses on. He's like getting into therapy mode. He's like,
these are my blue I'm now afraid of.
Doc, tell me about your mom wife.
Right. Yeah.
Putting his glasses on.
Well, I will say, like, give me 20 seconds here. Quinn Mathews, nobody believes in him. Still, he is the prototype. He prototypical big lefty, and it's just a couple tweaks away from recapturing it's kind of like Kohl Drake a little bit. It's actually similar in a way in that, I think you probably mentioned it while I was gone, strike zone issues, but buy low now. Although I'm not getting discounts in any league that I'm in, but I think you should try in your league.
That helps because I'm suspicious of Tim when he talks about Cardinals. So Doc gives.
Dude, I'm pretty I'm like you. I'm a little anti. I'm like a little bit anti-Cardinal.
But it's there. It's in there.
Yeah.
Mick Abel, Phillies guy. I was introduced to him. I wasn't exactly speaking of the Pirates, but he came up last year. He was kind of a big name prospect, and then kind of stunk in the minors. Came back up. Had a big minor league season last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but gets the call up, strikes out 10 Pirates in this first or second major league start last year. Goes on to then be terrible. The fastball kind of doesn't work. He gets traded in the Joan Duran trade. But I've drafted him a couple times already in NFBC stuff. Seems like the fastball is good, right? If we look at the numbers in the major leagues, I went over him in the Twins preview. Not a guarantee to be in the rotation. They still have Lopez, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, Simeon Woods Richardson, Taj Bradley. So there's some competition there. But Abel, 96 mile an hour fastball, 14.2% swinging strike rate last year. Just got like crushed 6'10" slug. So I think the Twins kind of just have they seem to like these guys, these like good fastballs that also, they get whiffs and they restrict walks. But they just give up a ton of home runs, and Mick Abel did exactly that. They're all the same. Joe Ryan is like the best. Ryan and Lopez are like the best outcomes of that. And Ober was good, and then last year you saw like the worst part of it. But they're all just like four-seamer guys that get plenty of strikeouts. Robby Mathews as well. I didn't even mention him. He's probably in the rotation. So Abel's got his work cut out for him. But the Twins like these fly ball guys with four-seamers that can get whiffs. So I don't know. I have trouble believing he'll be in the opening day rotation, but there's health problems with Pablo Lopez, and Taj Bradley is probably garbage, and who knows about Zebby and stuff. So I don't know. I think the fastball is interesting enough, and there's 6 pitches on the page there, only 4 of them used with significant usage, but wasn't great last year, but maybe the Twins can figure something out. And seems like the core is here enough for some upside.
Well, to spray some joy on the Mick Abel truthers out there, Joe Ryan was pulled from their fan day or whatever. He was supposed to be there to sign crap, and they pulled him. So that could signal that they're going to trade him. And if they trade him, David Fess's shoulder is who knows? Will he ever come back? Shoulders are scarier than elbows for pitchers. So who knows what's going to happen with David Festa? And if Festa's not there, then Abel is obviously the next man up. So he could get a full season of innings for all we know. I like Abel. He's definitely very volatile. Command is the big thing with him too. Like a lot of these high upside pitchers, like at this point in the rankings that we're talking about, have iffy command. That's his big thing.
He's
like
number 7. Even if Ryan goes, there's still 6 guys ahead of him.
Aren't they talking about making Taj a reliever? I thought that was the word on the street. Is that because he's like a 2-pitch guy, fastball slider?
Yeah.
Like I thought the word on the street was because they traded their whole bullpen, dude. They have no pen. Right. So like I thought the word on the street was that Taj was just going to be like their closer now or something.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of sick for that fantasy team we just drafted. I do not even like Taj Bradley, but I'm like, it was like the middle of the draft. I got him for $3. The guys were going for 13. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's got some talent.
Yeah, if he's the closer for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like Abel has a bunch of pitches. Fastball sweeper are good. So like I comped him to like a Diamondbacks like rookie version of Max Scherzer. So like 5 ERA Max Scherzer is my comp for him. Yeah. All right, number 11 is Jaxon Wiggins. That's your boy, Doc. And you told me before we started recording,
I said like I'm not like as well versed on him. I don't want you to say that I don't know about him.
Okay. I was just gonna say that your mom wife is a fan.
Listen, we're not gonna play that joke out anymore. It's getting sick and twisted. More so. He was born less than 1 month.
He goes right to the. And we all start with like swing strike rate, K to walk level, and Doc goes right to like the biography. I love it.
I was just trying to keep it light. He was born less than 1 month after 9/11. That's all I was gonna say. October 3rd, 2001, in Roland, Oklahoma. He's an Okie, but not from Muskogee. What's that?
Is he a checkhead?
So you guys are cutting me off. I'm doing these comedic bits.
He was born at the height of patriotism, right? Fall 2001 was the absolute height of it.
Jaxon Wiggins is not a checkerhead, dude. That guy's straight up Wiggins.
Can I mute?
What is Wiggins? That has to be British.
British, for sure. Yeah, it sounds like he's a Harry Potter. He went to Hogwarts for sure.
Yeah, he probably played on the Quidditch team because he's 6'6", 225, big righty. Electric stuff. So he's from Arkansas. He actually went to the University of Arkansas. He went to the real, like the good university. We didn't go to the Kohl Drake Technical University. But yeah, like 13K per 9 at the it was only nine innings, but at AAA last year, you love to see that. The command suffered a little bit, and again, a very small sample size. That's the only red flag that people are kind of looking out for is can his command get it done? Because you love the back of the baseball card for most of last year, right? High A and then double A, like 1.71 ERA, 1.93 ERA, sub 1 whip. So just really not letting any bombs happen. He got lit up, for a few homers at AAA. So it'll be interesting to see how maybe he needs more time. But right now, I think his value is skyrocketing. It seems like people in some of the leagues that I'm in are really willing to trade a lot for him. And I mean, it might be worth it, right? Like this is again a situation where it might be Thomas White, kind of not that good, I don't think, but it's almost a bit Thomas Whitey in that if he can strike out guys at a good enough rate, you can walk a few. You get to walk a few more than you would otherwise. So yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly if you're going to be able to get in on him right now. I think you want to wait for a little bit more struggle if possible, but it's going to be interesting with the Cubs trying to contend, right? So
yeah, they need him.
We'll hit that shot.
So, John, again, you asked me if I would move anyone in these rankings. I would maybe flip-flop Abel and Wiggins after the trade because obviously they added Edward Cabrera since then. But I still think, and I'm still going to stand by, that he gets about the same amount of innings that Cade Horton had last year. I think Wiggins is kind of on that Cade Horton call-up plan where they're going to call him up same time period. They'll get their Super 2 money and get that extra year of contract ownership, whatever. Because, like, in front of him, Jamison Tyone, Shota Imanaga, and Edward Cabrera are not necessarily the paragons of health. Matthew Boyd, too. Like, all those guys have had significant time on the IL. And to me, Wiggins is the next man up. So he's got a good shot at a lot of innings this year.
You do have Justin Steele coming back, but again, he's coming back from an injury. So, yeah, I think I mostly agree. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see if it's like an awkward. I think you nailed it, Cade Horton style.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys ready for top 10?
Yes.
Let's get to a midget. Number 10, Logan Henderson. Nobody picked him, but everybody knows Logan Henderson at this point. The weirdest player really to own last year, where I had him in a bunch of leagues, and I'm like, what do I do with it? Like, is he gonna come back? Like, what's going on here? And then you're just like holding him as dead weight in leagues, because you don't know he's gonna come right back, or like, what are they doing? And then he just doesn't come back, and you're like, what's happening here? And then he ended the season getting hurt. So I mean, yeah, sleight of frame is like his downfall, I guess, because it's like he's small, he got hurt at the end of the year, and obviously like something is up with like, why are the Brewers not pitching?
Is he not 6 foot tall then?
6 foot is small for a pitcher.
Okay.
I thought he was 5'11", but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think he's 6 foot when he wakes up, right? But like 65 fastball, 70 grade changeup, command is a 60. So like, yeah, he's mostly a 2-pitch guy, but his cutter's really good too. I think his cutter has a lot of potential. Like I threw a potential 55 on the cutter. So like, I think that cutter could be a good pitch. So like, yeah, I mean, like, look at that good induced vertical break on the fastball, 17.2. That's sick. So
yeah, that comp.
The fastball changeup is fire. Yeah, he's a good pitcher. It's just
although then you have Griffin Canning here too. Those are two very dissimilar four seamers.
Take the average.
Yeah.
I like Henderson, but nobody picked him, so that's it. We can move to the next guy.
Yeah.
All right, number 9. This is my guy, Robby Snelling. This is a guy that I was saying like I might move him up. If you look at the thing here, I would maybe even move him up
over Tolle, right?
Yeah, probably ahead of Tolle. Like he's better than Messick, so I like Snelling a lot more than Messick. And so both of them break camp. I'm definitely picking Snelling over Messick. So probably he's in this like Tong Tolle type area. I might even move him ahead of Tong to number 6, just based on this trade. But we'll talk about him here. I'm a huge Robby Snelling guy. This stuff year over year is insane. Like last year, he was so much better. He added like 2 miles per hour to every single pitch across the board last season versus what he was doing in 2024. And this is basically the mirror of Jesus Luzardo. Like Jesus Luzardo was struggling with the athletics, having problems. Marlins get him, completely transform him. And then Snelling is like the new version. And he like looks exactly like him. Like he has a very similar repertoire and he has a similar build because he's also like a hoss. Like this dude is like a freaking 4-star linebacker or something like that. Like could have been like a college football player. So the dude is a beast. Like Luzardo's pretty built too.
Yeah, Tim is not joking there for the listeners. Like he's actually like a really good. He was really good linebacker, inside linebacker.
Yeah, freaking athlete. So like the guy reminds me a lot of Luzardo. There's a lot of Luzardo comps. Comes over from the Padres to the Marlins. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he came over, post that trade, he started getting good again. And remember, this is a guy who was like the minor league pitcher of the year, like kind of came out of nowhere his first year in the minors, but his pitches are ridiculous. I got a 65 out of 70 on his fastball. Like I love his fastball so much from the left side. I give him a 60 out of 65 on his curveball, which is, I think it's more like a sweeper, but you know, they classified as curve. Changeup, I threw 50 out of 60 on. He's also got a slider that I only put a 40 out of 45. But like the fastball, sweeper, changeup is crazy. Like if he got a gyro slider, watch out. Like that's what he needs is a gyro slider to polish off this arsenal, and he'll be really good. Command, I also threw 55 out of 60. So like I'm like the biggest Snelling guy. I actually put out a post a while back. I was like Snelling over Painter, and this is back when like everybody was like talking about Painter, and that got a lot of traction when I posted that. Like I am definitely team Snelling over Painter. Look at him. This guy's a freaking beast. I love this guy. I'm going to see him too.
I think that's a little bit of a radical statement just because like Painter's got 6 pitches and his upside is higher, but Snelling's the safer guy at this point.
Yeah, I'll take the lefty who throws 97 with 60 great command.
Yeah, it's hard to fail with that, right? Lefty velo and command. So. Yep.
So that's Robby Snelling. Number 8 is Parker Messick. We all love Parker Messick, I think, right? I know John and I both love Parker Messick. Are you a Parker Messick guy, Doc?
Yeah, he's cool. I think he's probably underrated, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Low ceiling, but just a guy for solid innings.
He's got the most like Florida face I've ever seen. I was just thinking, I'm like, I think it's like a blonde, like redneck looking dude. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I thought he looked like. What I remembered.
That's a Parker. He's there. He is. There's Parker Messick. Yeah, he's a big boy, man. He's short, but he's a big boy lefty. He's fun. So he's a good pitcher. Solid command. Good fastball. Great changeup. So he's a fun pitcher. Kitchen sink type. Really good Otnu guy. Like he's gonna be an Otnu beast because John and I were talking about on the Guardians podcast that the contact against him is terrible. People cannot make good contact on his pitches. So there's a little bit of like an Emmanuel Clase to him, where it's like people just like can't. They make terrible contact on him, like no hard.
Do you see a bit of like a Bybee to his like fantasy profile?
I think he's a lot. I think he's different. I think he'd be better than I think Bybee has higher strikeout upside, but I feel like Messick is just like a really safe guy. Like I feel like he's just never gonna allow a lot of runs because his stuff, like guys just can't square it up, and he's got a bunch of pitches. Like he's just a really crafty guy. He's a smart guy, smart pitcher.
That's not good. Do you think that Bybee's got more strikeout upside? He just had 8K per 9 this last year. That's not good.
Look, here's my comp. Here's my comp is a Framber / lefty Sonny Gray light is what I comped him to, like a lighter version of those guys. So maybe later career because he's crafty, he gets more Ks.
I got a comp. I think
Max
it's better.
Fried.
No. Let me think about it. Tanner Bybee.
They have to be the same hand. You can't compare a righty to a lefty.
Yeah, well, I did say lefty.
I said from a fantasy production. I specifically said from a fantasy production standpoint.
All right. Number 7 is Payton Tolle. Payton Tolle is future Cardinal when Brendan Donovan gets traded to the Red Sox for Payton Tolle. I wish.
You wish. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 7, Payton Tolle. Go ahead, Doc.
It was me, I think. Or no, I was gonna dunk.
No, you're
on
a Jonah
Sorry.
Tong. You're a Tong, man. You're just
I was gonna drop a deuce on both of these guys, but go ahead.
It's an insane like stolen valor move there. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just still not happen again. It's not like it's your.
Look, I've got the same cross on as you. We're on the same team. Okay.
Yeah. Well, friggin'. It's a good thing Europe never fought each other.
Don't come after me.
The Payton Tolle has a great mustache. That's what you got to think about when you think about him. Born over 1 year after 9/11, November 1st, 2002. It's not really even worth mentioning. But he is from Oklahoma, similar to Jaxon Wiggins. So all of a sudden you get you have to start putting things together. 6'6", 250. Guy's a beast. And he's a lefty, and he's got one pitch.
Yep.
This is the problem. So he's got all the intangibles you want, and I don't really actually know how good his stuff's going to play up because he obviously didn't trust it in the majors last year. 64% of the time he threw a four-seamer.
Right.
So I suspect they're going to. I would hope they're going to force him to learn other pitches because you can't do that unless you want to be a reliever, and they haven't treated him like a reliever so far. And he's got that physicality that you want, from a frontline starter. Maybe he's not super high upside. Maybe he is going to eat more innings, but who knows? Because he's got one really, really good pitch. Let's give 2 average pitches and hey, see what you got. Anyway, I think it's a good. I remember when he came up and everyone was loving him. I was like, I wish I got this guy. He's totally like a Doc. He just looks like a Doc guy. And then now he's available, and I've been so busy I haven't put any trade offers out. But there's still time, and that's for you too, listener. There's still time. But do you guys think it's going to happen?
It's so bad with these Red Sox. I was thinking that Tim, and if we really rethought it, I think Tolle and the next Red Sox guy that is on the next slide, they have to go down because they
early. No, early's a lock, bro. I would
no way.
Early's good.
Yeah,
after
I would
the
not
Rangers Suarez signing. I mean, it's going to be tough.
No, early's good, bro. He's good, but Tolle,
they have 4 total locks for the rotation, and then they got to beat out. I know that nobody thinks
Tolle's getting traded. They didn't get Bo. Tolle is their trade chip. He's going to get traded, man. Watch. One of those two is going to get traded.
He has 0 chance of making the rotation out of camp unless there's multiple injuries. And then like Doc said, he doesn't have a second pitch. That's a reliever, or it's either just go throw that fastball and dominate in the bullpen, or go to AAA and add another pitch and work on that. So I don't think you get. I'm hard pressed to think you get a dozen starts out of him. Even doesn't legit starts, because in a fantasy league you don't want the opener situation, right? you want starts where he's ready to go 80 plus pitches. I don't think you get that more than a dozen times. So after I liked it all at the beginning, but now Suarez signing and Oviedo trade. I don't think Oviedo's any good, but they made a move for him. So,
yeah, I think it's really
but not initially. It's just like it's not the year for Tolle, in my opinion.
I think it just depends. I think he gets traded, like I said, but he's got the third best extension in the majors. The only guys with better extension are Glasnow and Logan Gilbert. So this guy,
great fastball.
Yeah, 20% swing strikeout on the fastball. And look, if you're gonna have one elite pitch, you want it to be the fastball. You know what I mean?
For sure,
like he's still developing other things. Like the slider, the cutter, and the changeup, in my opinion, all have potential to be at least average to maybe like above average 55 pitches. So if he can get a couple of those to even be 50s, or at least maybe 150, 155, he can figure it out between like the cutter and the slider. If one of those can be good, and then the changeup, he can probably develop into a decent pitch. Those three pitches alone, I think he'd be a beast just with that, just because the fastball's so good.
Just not this year. Right. Not this year.
yeah. Well, until he goes to the Cardinals, then he'll be a beast because that ballpark is like perfect for him. Jonah Tong, here we go.
All right. So what are the takes on using AI to make pictures like this? What do you guys think?
It's good. All good, man. You can use AI to do anything nowadays.
Okay, but should we do that?
You can use AI to turn Doc into his mom.
Should we do
whatever that means?
Are you going to be okay? I think I unlocked something. That was like a Bates Motel kind of reference. That's ever see that one? That's the movie. What's it called again? What's this? A one word?
The shower.
No, yeah, the shower. Horror. It's called The Horror. Gosh, my brain's fried. I got off a plane.
Say your H is really
Psycho.
How did you say whip? You said whip. Doc, say whip. Do you do that on purpose?
It's like Stewie. He's Stewie.
You really went. What is it? Is there a word for that? What you're doing with your H's? But
I think that's how you're supposed to say it.
Okay.
He's Canadian. It's the Canadian coming out. We'll let it pass.
Tong 40% K rate in the minors, AA and AAA. I think still 25% in the majors. He just got absolutely jobbed in the majors. Gave up 3 homers. It was 19 innings, 1.5 homers per 9. Pretty bad luck and stuff. I don't know. I'll leave it to you, but he has this really weird is it release point over the top?
Yes.
So I feel like, does that just work better in the minors? We'll see. He's like the one thing. It's funny that these two line up together, Tolle and Tong. They're the same age, but man, they couldn't look. They look 20 years different in age, right? Like Tolle looks like a 40-year-old, and Tong seriously could be 20. Or
someone grew up on corn, baby.
He could be 15. I mean, Tong looks so young. But, the major league hitters didn't have much of an issue with his four-seamer. 9.9% swinging strike rate. Got pretty well hit, 600 slug. You shouldn't really look at these slug stats in this small of a sample, but 364 expected WOBA, but 19% ground ball rate. It's going to get hit in the air. I think he was really fooling dudes with the crazy over the top thing in the minors, but I don't know. You don't see often 40% strikeout rates in the minors, even in whatever level. That's crazy. So that's a good sign. I think he's probably safe. I don't know. He probably goes back to AAA at the beginning of the year. I mean, the Mets rotation isn't anything special, but I don't know. I don't know if he's there, but you'll see him. And I just don't know. I don't necessarily buy into the stuff because major league hitters have seen it all, and it seems like his one trick, the velo is nothing special. 95. It seems like the one thing he has is just this release point that minor leaguers just have never seen before, and major leaguers won't have as big of an issue. But I'm guessing more. And again, same with Tolle. Like this is a 57% four-seam usage. You can't do that in the majors.
Yeah, I actually saw him live when he was in Port St. Lucie. I can't remember if that was like a year ago or 2 years ago now. My mind is like, I've been watching too much minor league baseball. I can't even remember what year I see guys anymore. But when I saw him, his command was terrible. And I was like, I don't know how you can throw like that and have good command, but he's made it work to date. But remember, like everyone's favorite comp from Timmy Lincecum also had everyone's like, I don't know if that's going to work. And then it did for a few years very, very well. So maybe it does for him. The fastball is obviously a good pitch, 65 out of 65 for me. The changeup, the Vulcan change, is pretty solid, but he needs stuff that moves east-west because his slider, he throws a slider, but it's a north-south slider. So like I've said forever, I'm like, he needs stuff that moves east-west, but he still had success despite that. But apparently now, I don't know if you know this, John, he's trying to develop like a sweeper that moves horizontally. So that's what he's working on this offseason. So I guess in spring we'll see like what he came up with, but it's not like we're not set with the pitches that he currently has. Like he knows it's an issue and he's working on it this offseason. And he seems like a really smart guy. Like, I don't know if like he's fun on social medias too. Like there's a Doc Narrative Street thing, but like he posts on social medias, like I think like Carson Bench was like filling his tire with gas or something or with air or something like that, like at a rest stop. So he's been posting on like social medias and stuff. And like, if you heard him talk, he's a fun guy. Like he like smells the baseballs before he throws them to pick like, he like learned something in the minors where like he smells the baseballs for strikeouts. He's just a fun dude. So I think, and he seems really smart. So he's going to figure it out. So.
Okay, yeah, not a very statistical argument you just made there. He's not even looking.
I told you I'm doing the Doc Narrative Street thing.
He's not looking at the plate. He's not looking at the hitter. Look at he's not.
He smells the strikeouts, man. He's like a superhero dog that smells crime. He smells.
You can't throw a strike if you're not looking at the catcher. Like,
all right, Doc, you're a Tong fan. Let's go. Convince John.
Well, here's the deal. I was a Tong fan when he was underrated, and then he got like super hyped up at the end of last year, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like
his eyes are closed. His eyes are closed. He doesn't know what he's saying.
No. That's a cool thing. He should keep doing that. But he's undersized is my concern, and the way he's throwing, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Lincecum outcome where it's like maybe just like really good for a while and then just like inconsistent overall for his career. So
it's not happening. I'm totally anti-Tong.
Worst case scenario, he's gonna be a major leaguer. He can strike guys out. So.
Try it, Tim. Close your eyes and throw the ball. See if it goes where you.
I'm gonna break a window. No, my windows are impact. I won't break it. This Mark McGwire ball smells like a strikeout.
Oh, Mark McGwire. It's bad. I'm off, Tom. But in fairness, you shouldn't listen to me. You should listen to the other two guys. Top 5.
All right, number 5, Connelly Early. I love Connelly Early, but Doc picked him. So go ahead, Doc.
It's like the most like Boston name. It's like it has to be Irish. So that is. He seems like he's a good fit. He's a lefty. 6'3".
He's a townie.
Yeah, 6'3", 195. And this one, something you gotta think about with him is that April 3rd, 2002, like that's not really that close to September 11th. And I know that it's been a big pattern that we've been looking for with the prospects so far.
What do we look? Do we want to be further away from 9/11 or closer?
We want to never forget it, man.
But with prospects, do we want them to be born? Where's the sweet spot for birthday?
Oh man, I don't think it really matters that much. This is like a baseball podcast. I just wanted to like let you know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's important. You're right. You're right. You changed my mind.
Okay, thank you. So he's a lefty. He's 6'3", 195, and I feel much more confident about him than Payton Tolle, and I do like Tolle's swagger. Early's got his own kind of swagger. It's very strange. Like I thought I was kind of cheesed because I'm like, it's not like much has changed, but I was so busy middle and end of last year that it's like a lot of my dynasty teams. I was like, I didn't make enough moves like near the deadline. For trade deadlines, and I just I missed out a couple times in redrafts where I could have picked up early, and I'm like, I should have done it. Now his value is going to make him unattainable. I feel like he hasn't gotten the right value adjustment for finishing his first major league 19 innings with a 2.33 ERA and basically a 1 WHIP, and he struck out a ton of guys and he barely walked anyone. I just don't know what else.
You say whip? Have you? You're seriously? That's how you say whip in real life.
I think that's how I've always said the word whip.
Okay.
Thomas White.
What are you saying, sir?
Thomas White.
Keep going. I apologize. We're really interrupting, dog.
It's okay, man. I was actually really,
that Welsh White.
So anyway, Early, kind of a pop-up prospect this year, and then debut. Like I'm just looking at his minor league record. It's like he never really had bad command. He always struck guys out. what are we waiting for here? I think I know what the answer is that he doesn't have a high 90s fastball. It's like, I don't care. I just will never care. Like, if you get the job done, you get the job done. And frankly, like, who would you feel better with? Payton Tolle, great fastball, but nothing else, or this guy who's got a great pitch mix, is getting the job done in the majors. I wouldn't be surprised if he just crushes spring training. They give him a spot. I think it's going to be trickier. Then there's a lot of pressure on from the fan base, so maybe not right away, but he earned it based on his performance at the end of last year.
Yeah, dude, he's got a good arsenal. 6 pitches, and that sweeper's brand new. Like, he did not even throw that in the minors. And so, like, people are like, he was so much better in the majors and the minors. I don't know if I can believe that. So that's why there is still value to buy early right now, because a lot of people will look at the minor league track record of him and not buying. Yeah, Oviedo, dude, come on, Bayo sucks. Oviedo, he a reliever. So
they traded for him, though. It
doesn't matter. He's going to be a reliever.
You always get me pitching depth.
He traded for Jordan Hicks too.
Yeah, they're all going to get injured. Everyone on this list will probably get banged.
Yeah.
Will get banged
Kyle
up.
Harrison. Kyle Harrison.
There's 4. There's one spot up for grabs. Okay.
Yeah, Early's a starter, dude. He's going to make this team. He's a beast.
I hope you're right. I draft him almost every time.
That sweeper is freaking sick. It's a brand new pitch. I put a potential 70 on it. I put a 60 out of 70 on that sweeper. I love that pitch. And look, he only threw it 18 times. In the minors, he only threw it 6 times. That's a brand new pitch. I think it's 55.6% swing strike rate. What in the world? You gotta love that.
That's 18. The 105.7 JA stuff, that is a very high number, and that's the one that might have somewhat stabilized in 18
stickiness.
Pitches.
Yeah. Look at that stinker.
It's all incredibly good. You're right. My problem is not at all with his abilities. It's just I just don't think he's in the rotation.
No, come on, man. He's a townie. If there's gonna be a riot in the town if he doesn't break the rotation after how he played at the end of the year. You kidding me? This is Boston, man. This is Boston. They're not going to be okay. This is Pittsburgh. This is Boston.
What's the hold up. We missed a critical data analysis. He went to West Point, U.S. Military Academy.
That's solid. This guy's my favorite player now.
Yeah, lock it in.
All right. So who's more real? Connelly Early going to West Point or Paul Skeens going to Air Force? The battle.
Both. I'm not about that. I'm not gonna be split doing a military branch war here. I didn't serve. I'm a coward. I was born in Canada, dude. That's just like it's not like I avoided service, but like just being Canadian makes you like a bad person, just like a little bit.
I think you are overcompensating a little bit for that guilt.
Oh, a lot. Guilt. Yeah. For a lot of things.
Do Mounties carry hand weapon? Do they carry guns or do they have guns? Are they like British guards?
So you guys grew up in the 90s, right?
Yeah, Rocky and Bully.
So a couple things. They have the sock and boppers. They have those, and then they have the Nerf little guns, and then the Super Soaker water guns. They actually use that in winter sometimes. The water guns in winter is not safe. So, yeah.
Solid. Canadian using weather. That's HARP, man. That's weather manipulation. Number four, Bubba Chandler. John doesn't pick any Pirates. Why? Are you afraid you're gonna like jinx him or something? You don't even want to touch it because you're like if I say something good, then it's gonna be bad and it's gonna make you sad.
I don't want to be predictable.
You don't want to be predictable. All right, Bubba Chandler was much better in the majors than the minors. I still really like him. My theory is that he got kind of like bored and frustrated and pissed off when he was in the minors for way too long. And then as soon as he got to the majors, he was a baller. So I think he's going to be fine. I just don't really care about his minor league stats after like May, because I think he was just like, this is ridiculous that I'm not up. Like, he was so good, and there's no reason for him not to get the call, except for that the Pirates are cheap. So I think he just kind of made him mad, and that's why his minor league stats weren't good in the back part of the year. And I kind of trust what he did in the majors. So I'm team Bubba Chandler this year. Last year I was not. I said, do not draft Bubba Chandler because I knew the Pirates were going to do that. Should have listened to me, people. Everyone was drafting Bubba Chandler around like 200. Now draft Bubba Chandler. Now's the time.
Oh, man. How can you be bad with that fastball? 99, 16.5% swinging strike rate, plus at least a changeup slider. It may not be the best, but it's a different situation than Tolle, right? Like, those are at least decent pitches, so I feel good about it.
Yeah. Plus, he's like he's like Robby Snelling. He was going to go to college. Clemson. He committed to Clemson to be a quarterback for Clemson. So dual sport guy here. He's an athlete. Number 3 is Trey Savage with the Blue Jays. Obviously, with him being number 3, it means I really like the 2 guys ahead of him. So some people might have him ahead of McLean. I mean, I don't know with the Mets defense now. I don't know. Maybe it would make sense. Like the Mets infield defense with Bichette at 3rd and Polanco at 1st is going to be maybe like a circus. So I don't know. Mets defense maybe makes me like the Mets pitchers a little bit less now with what happens there. But anyway, Savage, crazy stuff. Obviously, like I'm concerned because splitters come and go. He's got a 6 splitter. That's his number 1 pitch. Like he's got good pitches besides that. Fastball's good, slider's good. He's got the death ball, which is okay. But the splitters is bread and butter. And I don't know. We've seen a lot of splitter guys come and go. Like Waldrip was really good last year for a while, but he's also had like really bad splitter issues in the past, and his command comes and goes. So I'm not really a big Waldrip guy because he's a way less trustworthy version of your Savage. So splitter concerns me, and even like the way he pitches, he's super over the top too, like Tong. So that's a little concerning for like potential shoulder issues down the road. But he's really, really good. So I think I've got him as like a top 30 starter or something in my redraft rankings. So these top guys here are all really good.
I might trade him in the Dynasty League. You're right. I never trust a splitter. That's one of the that should have made the 10 Commandments for MLB Data Warehouse. Go ahead, Doug.
Didn't you pay him $24 million?
Yeah.
Well,
nice rookie contract.
Yeah.
So, I will say that this is a good time to trade him. He's probably going to be great, but people are remembering the playoff run. They're not remembering that like he's so young, and there's going to be some growing pains ahead of him, and it's going to go up and down. So it's a good time to, before that happens, sell on the. Everyone still remembers the Jays very fondly. They're like, wow, that was the team, and he was an integral part of it, and it does indicate that he's probably going to be a stud. So don't just like sell him for nothing. But
everybody,
you got a Jays fan in your league? Oh gosh, sell that.
Everybody in the league is watching this right now, so you just got completely demoted.
And I didn't let any Canadians into the league. I filtered everybody to make sure they were all American. So I can't even do that. I can't take advantage of it.
Doc circumvented the no Canadian rule.
Listen, that's a closeted past.
All right. Number 2, no more jokes. No, don't do it, Tim. Number 2, Nolan McLean for John. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm anti. I just pick the guys I don't like. Nolan McLean.
As always.
Sinker. Here's my favorite plot. I love scatter plots. Like it's my favorite thing. This is swing strike rate against K rate. McLean, it was a small-ish sample, but he was up there for a while. He's an outlier here. I'm sure your eyes have located him. He had a 30% K rate with a 12% swing strike rate. That doesn't happen. The Ks aren't there. He's going to be a 24 to 25% K rate guy. Sinkers, ground balls, fine. I think he's fine. I think might be, another Logan Webb-ish type. Just doesn't have the strikeouts. He's very overrated right now after that. You come up for a decent sample and you strike out the world and you look really good and you're kind of the Mets ace and people overvalue you. So I think it's a great chance to, I guess long-term, I don't know. I don't know. The stuff is good. The ground balls are great. Like I like ground balls more than the next guy. But then what Tim just said, like, yeah, they're playing Bichette at 3rd. They didn't even know if that guy could throw from short, right? And then Polanco at 1st. That's brand new. Lindor and Semien. That's a good middle infield, I suppose. But just a little bit overrated. But I do not disagree at all with the number 2 ranking. He's arguably, is he the Mets opening day starter? And the ground balls, like the floor is perfectly fine. The stuff, we can pull that up. Like I'm not saying
good stuff, man. I love his pitches.
Yeah.
He's got 6+ pitches. Like I threw a 55 out of 65 on his fastball, a 50 out of 55 on the sweeper, 60 out of 65 on the sinker, 60 out of 65 on the cutter, 65 out of 70 on the curve, and a 50 out of 55 on the changeup with plus command. And here's the Tanner Bybee comp here, Doc. You had to get it in there early. but you're gonna hate. Like, it's not a great comp if you're like thinking about him like from a stat line perspective. But my comp is Tanner Bybee / Luis Severino mash. But that's more like a mechanics arsenal thing than like back of the baseball card stat line or whatever. But yeah, I think the stuff is really good. And this is one thing that I've always like kind of been iffy about him until this last rankings update, because I had him at like 40 or something in my previous rankings update, was because of this swinging strike issue. Like, I was like, what's up with this? I'm like, what's up with this? This stuff looks awesome. Like, you watch him on video and you're like, this stuff is sick. Like, how come he's not generating swings and strikes? So it's very weird. Like, I will admit, like, but I think that eventually it's going to catch up. I think that it's probably a pitch mix thing, John, more than anything. Because, I mean, the dude does have 6 pitches. So it's like he's got to still figure out, like, when is the right time to throw each of these pitches. And I think something that you also need to consider too, John, is that, remember, he was a two-way guy. Like, he only started pitching full-time, like, last year. Like, before that, he was, like, playing short or something too. So he's a two-way guy. So it's like now's the only time he's pitched. So he's still got to figure out the pitch mix. With 6 good pitches, it's like you got to figure out the right sequences. Like, what when do you throw what pitch against what players? So
I would take you Savage and Chandler, but I'm not over him this year. But I'm not being overly. I'm not criticizing the ranking here. I'm just saying that the ADP is too much. This is a top 120 ADP. It's just, he's not that good. So, I'm a negative guy, but it's just strictly about, you're paying too high of a price for what he's likely to do this particular year. More ground balls and strikeouts, and Doc can weigh in here.
No, he's probably a really good dynasty buy. But I do feel like it's weird because Boston and New York both have big media markets. But like guys like Early and Tolle are kind of not being, their value, I feel like, is just stagnant or going down, while McLean is being treated like Chandler was being treated at the beginning of last year. Like, oh, he's a locked in guaranteed ace. Like, it's actually more than that, because they're like, people are like, no, he's 100% going to start the year. And like, I mean, guess so, right? But it's with a team that is going to have high aspirations. If he stumbles at all as a young guy, he may end up back at AAA, or like at the very least, like it might just be some bumpy roads. Maybe it has a really, really like 11K start or something like that, and then gets 3 bombs the next game or something like that. There's going to be some bumps in the road, and I think maybe John was trying to say that, like, in the short term, it's not as much of a sure thing as his ADP would suggest.
Yes.
All righty, let's get to number 1. Number 1 right here. Just so you know, Doc, he was breastfed until month number 13. So, and then I think he has a family background in Rhodesia. So no, I'm just joking. He was actually born in Italy, though, so that's kind of cool.
No, I was going to say, this guy does have a funky background. Don't get me started.
Yeah. So Chase Burns, number 1 guy here. I've got him actually at number 14 in redraft. That's how high I am on Chase Burns, is that he's my number 14 redraft pitcher. This stuff is absolutely ridiculous. If we didn't just come off of Paul Skeens, like, being amazing and like the best pitcher out of a rookie, like Chase Burns would be like, everyone would be all over him. But because Paul Skeens like spoiled us, Chase Burns kind of like it's hidden. But the stuff is ridiculous. The fScores are ridiculous. Fastball, he touches 102 on the fastball. I threw 70 out of 70 on the fastball. On the slider, look at that pitch. I am a 70 out of 80 on the slider. He can throw his slider up to 93 miles an hour. He's also got a change up that it's kind of average. I threw a 45 out of 50 on it. Curve is a 40, so that's a work in progress. Command is good still, though. Like, he's got good command. Like, the main thing for him is don't give up dingers, because he's going to be in Great American Small Park. So if he can avoid the dingers, like, he's going to get a ton of strikeouts. Like, he's going to be an absolute strikeout machine. Look at that, 18.1 induced vertical break coming at you up to 102. That's some, Dylan Cease. That's a good comp there on that fastball. There's the slider, 90.7 average. So crazy slider here. I don't know about those comps there, John. Maybe not enough pitches thrown here, but that slider might be the best slider in baseball. So Chase Burns, really, really good pitcher.
Ridiculous.
Top of the line.
36% K rate. I mean,
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what's funny too, John, is my comp for him in my thing is Hunter Green / Dylan Cease mashup, and then your thing just showed Dylan Cease.
Hunter Green's the perfect one. I mean, same team, so it's easy, but 4-seamer sliders, hot fly balls, like the K to walk, the whip should be whip, I don't know. Walk rate's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Ton of strikeouts, that always helps. So the only trouble maybe is the home runs, which you mentioned, but yeah, I'm all in as well.
Yeah, look at that overall JA stuff. 105.3 is his overall. Isn't like didn't you say like 101 is like really good? Is that like 5 points of movement for his overall arsenal?
Yeah,
got to be like off the charts.
He's one of the best in the league.
Yeah. So Chase Burns, awesome.
It's actually his birthday today.
What? Happy birthday, Chase Burns! You Italian mafioso, you. What's your Italian slur, Doc? Off cuff. You got it. Remember, it's got to be made up.
Made up? I mean, spaghetti pants.
Happy birthday, spaghetti pants.
My 3-year-old daughter is like, yes, that's the one. She just whispered. Hold on 1 second. She got another one. Poop, poop, you know. We're just devolved here at 1 hour and 20 in, folks. If you're still with us live, Mike.
Yeah, we lost them all.
Yeah. No, we're almost at like 600 people right now. So there's the top 20 starting pitchers for redraft leagues right there. Take a screenshot, take a picture, come back and watch, or just sign up on MLB Data Warehouse so you get this stuff all the time, not just the free stuff, but all the toys. So you get all of John's toys, and he keeps inventing new stuff. But on the last podcast, if you listened or watched the last podcast, I did nickname MLB Data Warehouse MLB Data Labyrinth, and John texted me back, and he's like, "What's a labyrinth?"
I thought that was a game. I thought that was like that board game where you had to level it.
I was like, David Bowie ? And he's
that
like,
that is the name. That is the name of that game, but a labyrinth is a maze. Which is why the game is called that.
That's why I texted you and I was like, Minotaurs, David Bowie, come on. And then you're like, no connection.
I just read the Bible and watched baseball. So that's the only exposure I have. Sorry.
All right. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a tour. What we're gonna do is we're gonna like play the maze out for people. You know, like when I'm at the restaurant and they give you those kids things with the colors, and I've got my kids next to me, and I'm trying to help them figure out how to do mazes because they're still all super young. Like we're gonna do that for the people. We're gonna draw the maze, the labyrinth for the people out so they can figure out how to actually use all the stuff because we've got a lot of new people, right, John? Everyone's signing up because of Doc and Tim. So when you sign up, make sure you say it's because of Doc and Tim.
It's a good time of year, harvest time.
Mostly Doc.
Yeah, mostly Doc. And then buy the prospect package, $29.99, so that you can get draft cheat sheets. All these awesome draft cheat sheets. They're all hot mapped. They've all got fScores on them. You got redraft. You got 3-year. You got 5-year. You got my FYPDs. You got all my prospects. You got all the international guys. It's got everything you need for draft season. So $29.99. As I had a mahi for lunch today. That's cheaper than my mahi lunch. So go buy a prospect package so that I can buy my wife food so she lets me do this stuff.
Let's get out of here.
What do you got, Doc? What do you got?
I don't know, I'm exhausted, bro. I'm happy to be back here, and I hope you all win your leagues unless you're in a league with me, in which case everything I said tonight was a lie, and you should do the opposite.
God bless.
If you're not first, you're last. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace out, everybody. We will see you next time.